What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I was told by a fan that I had to, fan meaning my friend, that I had to review a couple more, films before I could go back to my nerdy content. So I decided to go ahead and watch Fight Club, which is the review today. Now, the past couple movies, we watched Pulp Fiction, we watched The Prestige. They were all my first time watching. This one is the same. These are all very classic movies. A lot of people really seem to love them. And I have too. I've given Pulp Fiction a 9, I've given Prestige an 8, but there's a pattern here. It's going down by 1. So I've given Fight Club a 7. Let me explain why. So Fight Club obviously is one of those movies that has this like really famous twist. And the whole time my friends were like, "Yo, Braden, you know about the twist, right?" And I'm like, "No." I was talking to them and I was like, "That twist I could see coming from a mile away." And so they all believe that I've just subconsciously known about this twist. It's not true. Spoilers ahead for Fight Club. I had no idea that they were the same. I mean, before the movie started, I had no idea they were the same person. No idea. And I get why it's so famous. It is a well done plot twist. I'm not trying to say it's not, but I knew it from about halfway through. I paused the movie. I went to go shower because it was like the morning, right? When I came back, I was like, they're probably the same person. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That seems like where this movie would go. And lo and behold, I was right. It was incredibly predictable, and it came to the point where I was like, this movie's kind of dumb for that. And I started to not like Fight Club. We were halfway through. I don't remember what scene we were on. I think I think I was on the scene where it was before Project Mayhem. Whenever that like really became like a big thing in the movie, it was before that point. It was about halfway. It was pretty much split halfway through. So the beginning of this movie is really slow. I think it's 2 hours long, so 2 hours 10 minutes long. It's not a very long movie, or maybe it's about average. Um, but I noticed that it was taking a long time to pick up. So I was like, okay, no problem, no issue. I'm okay with movies that start off slow, but this movie does a really bad job at it. The first 20, 30 minutes of this movie almost don't matter at all, except for the fact that he meets Marla. Our protagonist, played by Edward Norton, meets Marla. I believe that's her name. I believe so. I'm really bad with names, guys. It's just gonna keep happening. So that is relevant, but that's about all we get. He meets Tyler, he rooms with Tyler, and obviously we later learn that that's all him doing it. But so they start Fight Club as a way for men to kind of get out their emotions through fighting. And it was interesting. It wasn't amazing. It made sense somewhat, but also didn't make a ton of sense. And I just kept thinking to myself, this movie is taking a long time to get going, and I'm not really sure where we're heading. Luckily, it fixed itself, and we could figure out, he's forming a terrorist organization. But it didn't seem obvious from that point, and we were probably about a fourth of the movie that was really where we were going at all. So this movie's starting off kind of slow. It continues to be kind of slow. And then we hit the third act, which is memorable. And it is actually a really good third act. Um, we learn that Tyler and I don't remember the protagonist's name. Tyler and Edward Norton's character are one and the same. And Brad Pitt, by the way, plays a beautiful. He does amazing in this movie. Um, and so I start to, the pieces start to make sense. And for those of you who didn't know the plot twist before that point, you start to understand, oh, okay, I understand where the movie's coming from. For me, though, because this movie seems to hinge completely on the plot twist, it's just not that interesting because I saw it coming already. And a predictable plot twist doesn't always mean a bad movie, and I'm not trying to insinuate that that's what I believe. But the movie became much more enjoyable when it was I really don't remember his name. That's really annoying. I watched the movie yesterday. When Edward Norton's character tries to figure out where Tyler went, because he just disappears one day. Then he learns that he is one and the same, and tries to stop himself from committing terrorism. It's funny because Tyler, his alter ego, thinks of literally everything, right? So he goes to the police. The police try to cut his balls off because that is Tyler's way of getting after people and stopping them from doing something, which is a really funny but also very excruciatingly painful way to stop someone from doing something is by cutting their balls off. It's funny, and it kind of it's like a humorous break in the action. I believe at the end of the movie, which might be ambiguous, probably not. He kills off Tyler. I think it's a little stupid that he shoots himself and doesn't die. Um, but he kills off Tyler, or no, he doesn't kill off Tyler. He kills off he kills off his original self and fully becomes Tyler, which is the person that Marla fell in love with. And I have to assume that he creates anarchy at the end of the movie. It's interesting, but it just there's points in this movie where I feel bored. Act 1, Act 2, I didn't really understand what was even really going on. It didn't make much sense. And again, you can say, oh, it's because of the twist, but I truly believe that the twist doesn't. Like, again, I knew it by Act 2. It didn't make what I was seeing any better that I figured it out. And while Act 3 is pretty good, it's not enough to save the movie. That being said, it is really a great act. Um, and for the most part, 1 and 2 were just kind of mid. So if I had to rate the acts, I'd probably go 5, 5, and then like a 9. And if we're averaging that out, it's about a 6.3. But I've decided to give it an extra bonus point because it deserves to be said that, Brad Pitt had an amazing acting job. Edward Norton did an amazing acting job. And that's enough for me to give it the 7 that I think it deserves. If people have this higher, I can understand it. If people have it lower, I can also understand it. But it's just not perfect. And it's probably one of the worst films that we've reviewed so far on the channel. Um, Probably just because I am stupid and I don't know anything about movies. Um, but I'm learning, and I'm starting to understand that not every movie is going to be this like perfect thing, even though everyone says it is. Like I'm gonna have opinions that are kind of different from other people, and that's just what's gonna happen. I thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on Fight Club. Any other movies you want me to go ahead and check out, and I will do so. I have probably a bunch of Star Wars reviews that I'm going to be making over the next couple of days or weeks. Um, I am planning on just reviewing the original 6 movies plus the Clone Wars movie, and then we're going to start reviewing Clone Wars season by season. Um, and then I'll see where I'm going to go after that. Obviously, sequels will be reviewed at some point, and the Mandoverse and stuff. I'm also still reviewing Marvel stuff. I have to review some DC stuff too. I think I'm just gonna kind of pick and choose until the DCU actually comes out. Um, I might have some Marvel news videos coming out soon. There's a lot of news on that front, a lot of news on DC. So we got a lot of content coming up. I hope you guys are all excited for it. As always, you can hit post notifications and you'll get notified of when I upload because it is fairly random. At least a video a week, probably more. Uh, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. I love you all. Take care. Bye bye.